It's that spooky time of year again, and what I think of most this time of year is pumpkins, spiders, and witches. Oh, have you ever read about witches in history? Only once or twice. Someone recommended I read the Temple Annika folios. I have to agree, that's a great idea. A lot can be learned, but I think the biggest two takeaways that I learned from the book is how trials operated in the Holy Roman Empire and when torture could be used. I mean, did you know how formal those trials were? No, I always thought it was mob justice where the whole village kind of ran out with pitchforks and torches to go and get the witches before they took over the town. That's what I thought for a long time too. Then when I was reading the folios, you can see that it has this very specific format that the court has to follow. In the book, The Trial of Temple Annika, Record of a Witchcraft Trial in Brunswick, Germany, the author, Peter Morton, makes it very clear how ordered the trials and gathering of evidence is. How so? Well, the author organized the folios in what he found to be the correct order, and it definitely wasn't mob justice. Temple Annika went through 2 different courts over the period of 7 months before a verdict was reached. Both courts were seen in the folios, as the investigation and examination of witnesses were carried out by the lower courts, and the decision to prosecute and the final judgment were made by the higher courts. It took them 7 months to come to a decision? Crazy, right? They used that time to go through the available evidence, which seemed to have boiled down to really 2 main categories. That was eyewitness testimony and confessions. In the British National Archives transcript, Trial Evidence for Witchcraft, the evidence against the supposed witch in that trial is just that it was believed that another neighbor, whose name was Judith, had swelling, and that hath been thought by neighbors that the said Judith was bewitched with that grief. So just communal rumors acted as evidence. Yeah, it acted as evidence in that trial, and rumors are what started Temple Annika's trial as well. Eyewitness testimony evidence is already sketchy at best. And you said the other evidence they used was confessions? Yeah, in a lot of the witch trials, torture was used, and Temple Annika's trial was no exception. In folio 28 of Temple Annika's trial, the court documented how they brought her to a dark cellar and applied leg screws to get a confession of different crimes. The main reason that they wanted Temple Annika to confess was because of the Carolina. Like one of those states down south? Well, not quite. I'm actually referring to the Imperial Code in the Holy Roman Empire, also known as the Criminal Court Regulation of Emperor Charles V. Oh, so is that why they talked to neighbors in both trials? Exactly. However, under the Carolina, in order for the confession to be seen as true, the person who confessed had to repeat the confession while not being tortured. If the accused person withstood the torture without confessing, they were usually let go. But they were banished from the city, which might still be a death sentence if the person was poor or old. That's a pretty grim fate either way. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. Thanks for having me.